So here it goes. Okay,
Perfect.
perfect.
Thank you.
Progress.
I
No
know.
problem. Yes. And I'm okay. I've got my little light on now. Okay. A
Nice.
little yellow light in my current room. But
Do you have a ring light? Is that what you use?
well, I don't if I didn't have glasses, I would, but the ring light it really makes like a big circle on the glasses.
Gotcha.
So I have a different kind, but
Got it.
yeah, but ring lights are definitely good if you can get one. Yeah.
Right.
They're pretty popular. I should have bought Scott and ring lights in like 2020 before everyone had to go on video. Yeah.
And Zoom. I'm going to write that down. Ring light.
Yes.
This is new to me in case you don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I mean, there's so many wonderful aspects of social media. So I think, and I know it takes a lot of bravery to put yourself out there. So
definitely. It's step one.
Yeah. I love your aesthetics so far.
Thank you.
Really good. I think so. Yeah. But yeah, I would love to know a little more about what the private practices that you're opening.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm in Houston, Texas. I think you're in Seattle, right?
Seattle. Yeah.
So we're a little far away, but big states nonetheless.
Yes.
So I've been in academia my whole life. I was at Texas Children's Hospital for almost 10 years.
Okay.
And then I just decided to do a career pivot and do a fellowship in integrative medicine. Because that's what patients were asking about all the time. And I'm like, I have no clue how to answer your turmeric questions and your, all these questions. So, and then at the same time, I was also diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and kind of living this parallel life to my patients.
Okay.
So that was kind of I'm like, I wonder about the same things and the struggles. I'm like, I didn't tell my patients at the time, right, that I'm going through the same thing. So I took a little bit of a career pivot around 2019, started a 2-year fellowship through the Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's about to be done this summer. So in a few months. Yeah. So I'll be done with that. I left academics in June of last year. So that we have a 1-year non-compete where I am. And I was like, okay, well, what's the point of fighting that if I know I have another year left of fellowship anyways, and it takes time to build a private practice. So I just kind of let that part go. And I've been working on building this, like building a private practice. So it's hard. No one tells you like the level of detail you have to really get yourself into for this. Part of it's the planning and part of it's the marketing, right? So the reason for me doing social media is twofold. One, obviously I want to get my name out there when the time is right to be like, hey, I'm here. As a rheumatologist, you can see. And number two, to provide accurate information, especially like you mentioned on the integrative stuff, there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yes, there is.
Like gluten-free diet will fix my child's arthritis.
I wish.
Right. Yeah. And so there's a lot of things to address. The way to make it happen is kind of where I'm stuck of like, okay, I'm doing content. Is it weird to all of a sudden be like, hey, I'm starting my own practice in Houston and then go back to content? How do you make that flow?
Oh yeah.
Nicely?
It's so funny because I'm having a flashback in 2020, right before the pandemic. I just started Arthritis Life in 2019. This is going to relate directly. I'm not just telling you my story. But I talked to these couple of business coaches because there's a lot of like physical therapists and occupational therapists that do the same thing where they're kind of like, I want to do something different. Whether it's integrative medicine or like a non-traditional job. But anyway, so I had this concept for Arthritis Life, and I told these business coach guys that they're physical therapists. I said, like, I feel like I've done it in the opposite order. Like I've been giving away all this free education, but then they're like, and then now I'm going to be like, oh, here's something that you can pay for. But they're like, that's the perfect way to do it, actually.
Really?
Because you're building your know, like, and trust factor first. People trust you and they'll have a vibe of like, okay, she's a valid source of information.
Right.
And then you say, look, like, here's what I'm offering. And I know that there's a lot of like mindset work I had to do around like selling, because it's like, especially you're a helper, right? You want to help people. So that's a whole other can of worms, but I can share with you how I'm totally still in progress on that. Like my first program, I sold a 4-week like intensive coaching and an online course for $49.
Oh, wow.
Each.
Wow. That's nothing.
That's literally nothing. Like
Nothing.
I was kind of like, I'd rather overpromise or under promise and over
Deliver. Yeah.
especially in the very beginning. But like, also I was doing something different. Like if you're doing a regular clinic, I mean, maybe it might be integrative more, but.
So that's the other thing. My practice is different because it's a direct specialty care model. And I've thought through this 100 times, insurance, no insurance. Integrative medicine does not allow for good reimbursement, period.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to sit there and do that, then I'm going to have to charge a cash rate and then give you a super bill and help you submit that for reimbursement.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the model I have, which adds another layer of like education on the website what is integrative medicine? What is cash pay model? Why? Those kind of things.
That's a lot more common nowadays. I mean, OTs and PTs are doing that too.
It's true.
Even if it's not integrative, just to say, hey, look, insurance is a giant headache and nightmare. And my psychiatrist who I've seen as a patient, he's just very traditional. He's sitting there in his, sweater and like a regular clinic, and he does everything cash because he just doesn't want to deal. And I just submit the super bill,
And that process is okay for you. Like it's been okay.
It's like the easiest thing I've ever had to do with insurance. Like,
I'm glad.
Do you know what I mean? I've spent longer on the phone on hold with Walgreens trying to refill the syringes or like it's like, so that's like super, I know, because I was intimidated by that too. I originally researched, I am going to do a private practice clinic eventually, but I ended up like trying to do one thing at a time.
Right.
I'm terrible at that. I'm actually doing like 9,000 things, but yeah. I mean, no, especially if you handhold and explain like, hey, like you could still get insurance reimbursement. It's just that you have to pay up front and then the insurance can pay you.
Right.
And they tend to not deny things when people.
It's good to know
that way. Yeah. Yeah.
It's good to know. Cause the need is there. I mean, like when I was at the institution, it was a 3-4 month wait list. That's not okay for a kid who has chronic illness. You know,
there's such a pediatric. I mean, I feel like you're in the perfect field because you're in like literally one of the biggest, you're a pediatric rheumatologist. That's like one of the biggest shortages of any providers.
It makes me sad. It does.
I know. So I don't think you're going to have, I think you're going to have to be worried about, you're going to be taking people away. But my second thing is, so are you, cause like, I know the way it works for OTs, we still have to be seeing people only in our state or the states that we're licensed in. Are you going to be seeing people from all over or
no,
just Texas?
Just Texas, unless I get like licensed in California or wherever. Right now it's just Texas.
And then is it going to be virtual and in person?
So it's mostly in person. The virtual is only going to be given to established patients that are stable, doing follow-up, that type of, because rheumatology exam is really important. And I'm going to spell that out on my website as well.
Yeah, I've been going in person the whole pandemic because I've had issues. Oh,
wow.
Like, because I had to switch one of my medications.
Medicines.
So I totally get that. I was just curious because that affects the marketing a little bit, but yeah, I mean, you have a really defined like target market, target audience.
Right. Right. And I'm not doing, like in an academic setting, you see a lot of weird genetic cases too. I just don't think a clinic like this is going to be equipped for that, like some neonatal lupus that turns into some auto-inflammatory, like I can do that, but it's going to need a lot of hand holding. And I just don't have that listed as one of the diseases I see. So it's going to be bread and butter for now, like your lupus, your dermatomyositis, arthritis, that type of thing. And then you have your good old joint pains in there, stuff like Ehlers-Danlos.
Classic. Yeah.
Little sprinkle of this and that, to reassurance type of exams. So the bread and butter is what I'm doing, and it's childhood to high school aged, I would say.
Okay. Yeah. And then, and I think, that you have like this unique value proposition of being integrative medicine, certified, or I'm sorry, I forget the lingo.
Fellowship trained. Yeah.
Fellowship trained. Yeah. I know. Do you know Dr. Micah my autoimmune MD? Okay.
He is my fellowship co-fellow.
Oh, okay. Cause I was gonna say like, he's the first person that came to mind when you said like integrative and rheumatology.
Yes, I know him.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not that many, integrative rheumatologists that I know of.
No, you're right.
So, I mean, I think you're going to have no problem, to be honest, especially with the wait list. Like it's like one of the best pieces of business advice I got when I started was like, you don't have to know everything. You just have to be one step ahead of like
True.
the people that you're helping. And like, you're like 52 steps ahead of people, like, cause you're a doctor and now you have integrated medicine training. So like, but you know what I mean? Cause I would get this little like chip on my shoulder sometimes, or like, I'd have this, I guess not really, kind of imposter syndrome where I'm like, oh, but I don't know everything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yes. Imposter syndrome is the right term. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not perfect yet. You know, I'm not ready to launch.
I know,
where
it's
I'm
like,
stuck.
have you like heard that this is, I'm sorry if this is going to sound really out of left field, but like sometimes I remind myself of this funny comment that someone made, which was like, carry yourself with the confidence of like an average white man.
Yes. Yes, I have heard that before. And I need to do that. Or just like a man in general.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's like totally something that women are like, we're socialized to like wait until it's perfect before jumping in. And men are like, it's fine.
We're perfect.
You know? Yeah. So like, I mean, yeah, my question about, you're asking about obviously like using social media, but it's good for me to understand like the specifics of like your target audience.
Right.
And then knowing, you know, I guess off the top of my head, it really seems like the main like pain point that they have. That's like, so I've done a couple like business trainings in the last couple of years where they're like, so I don't know if the phrase pain point resonates with you, but it means like what's not physically pain, but like what is it that's bothering? I mean, it could obviously a lot of times it is physical pain, but
so searching, what are they searching for?
Exactly. And it's like, you know, I'm guessing the pain point is confusion around integrative.
Well, confusion around the diagnosis, I think worry. A lot of people want support as well. Like, oh my God, your child has this. Can we connect? And we as physicians can't do that because it violates, and nobody can in healthcare. So like the practical part of it, like, hey, what happens when you leave your methotrexate out or like when, you know, you leave your Humira out for 2 days? Do you throw it away? You know, like practical stuff like that.
Yeah. So and I think something that helped me a lot that I ended up doing this little business coaching program through an occupational therapist that like, it sounds like a pyramid scheme, but it's just one. It's just like an occupational therapist that runs a business that helps other occupational therapists run a business. Right. Like a virtual, like weird business, but like, there's no other levels under that. That's it. Like one thing that really helped me is she had me like really outline the different categories of pain points. Like, and you just spoke to 3 of them. You know, there's confusion around the diagnosis. That's like, so that's solved by information. And then there's like worry and anxiety, which is solved by like a blend of information and support, right? Because if you're worried like that, you know, you're immediately going to get cancer and die, like this instant you inject a biologic, you can kind of allay that fear through, you know, information, but also like support and hand holding. And like, that's the thing, honestly, I think has been huge. And I've been able to really tap into that and support people. I mean, I have like literal support groups, and that's actually ended up being really great for me. But I think in your case, it doesn't really, as a actual clinic, it doesn't make as much sense. But
no, because as part of the integrative model, I can do like group visits on XYZ nights and say like, hey, I'm the moderator. What's the topic that you guys want to talk about? Or we can break it down and be like, week 1, we talk about the anti-inflammatory diet. Week 2, we talk about like why sleep is important or how you can improve it for your kid. There's like a lot of ways to structure group visits, and that's essentially a support group.
Right. I love that. Yeah. Like a self-management / support group.
For different diseases too, not just arthritis. You can do it for lupus, so many other things.
And then it's like kind of like there's like the information overwhelm. And then there's the need for practical, like you mentioned, practical tips. I think that's been one that surprised me how much that's resonated with people. Like as an OT, I should have known, right? Because we're all about adaptive equipment and assistive devices and stuff. But a lot of people have been even more like receptive to that and excited about it than I thought. So, so, you know, right there you have, and then the confusion and overwhelm around, it's almost like you could divide it into like the 101 stuff, like lupus 101, dermatomyositis 101. And then there's the confusion, overwhelm around integrative medicine.
Yes.
Cause
what is it?
This is just my gut plan or gut reaction would be there seems to be on social media in particular, a lot of voices in the, nutrition and integrated medicine space, but there's not a lot that have the unique value proposition that you have of being a rheumatologist and trained in. As a, random person in the world, I could go take some weekend training and call myself a nutrition health coach. So even though there's already a lot of info, I think that if you kind of can insert yourself into someone's conversations by commenting and connecting, and maybe even doing lives with other like influential accounts, stepping back for a second, little advice that I give people is that like a lot of times people think about social media, like, okay, getting started, like you mentioned, ideas for content and stuff. They think about it as like, it's like a blog, right? Where it's like, here's my platform and like, I'm going to write this and I'm going to write that. And in many ways, yes, you can use social media that way, but the social part is super powerful. Yeah. And so, and it sounds like you already kind of get that, but like, you could get a lot more bang for your buck in the beginning stages. Like I kind of spent time, like there's some social media business coaches who say literally spend like 30 minutes a day commenting and demonstrating value on other people's posts.
Oh, wow.
And then, and that's, again, that's probably too much time in your case. That would be maybe 30 minutes a week. Yeah. But finding like an offering on other influential accounts, like obviously I'd be happy to host, a live with you on my account or even have you on my podcast, but like find people that are in this integrative like space for pediatrics in particular, and think and see whether you could say like, hey, can I do a free training on your page, or like a Q&A with an integrative pediatric rheumatologist? Like literally could just be random Q&As. Like you're going to get so many questions,
That's like, what I'm almost scared of, like hopeful and scared of at the same time, of like, I don't know what type of questions I'm going to get. This is going to require some work.
Well, and then you could make it really, you could have boundaries around it. So, like today we're just talking about nutrition, and like, if you have other questions, like we can table those for later, it's, or you, but.
So you think I should just insert myself into people's like comments and like make myself known, like, hey, I'm here. This is what I think, just to kind of get on the social part of the social media.
Yeah. And I know the word insert is probably wrong, but I would say join. Comment.
Yeah.
Or like just join the existing like conversations.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about like, cause I've done a few like large events, like for example, like a arthritis life hack extravaganza that I organized. And it was like people that over the last 2 years where I've been really active on social media, the ones that, responded to my stories, that like commented valuable comments, or like would say, oh, you know what? Like another thing about turmeric is blank, like not in a way, like I feel like I can just get a sense from you that you wouldn't be like weird about it, but some people like, you wouldn't be like there's definitely the people like, I'm sure you've already gotten them, the comment like, I'm so grateful to Dr. Herbal Man who cured my AIDS or whatever.
Yes.
My herpes. But
my herpes. It's
or like, it's really obvious. Like someone on TikTok the other day, like responded to every single person who commented on my TikTok and was like, you should check out this person. It was just like a copy paste, like it wasn't valuable. So if you add the value by saying, just answering their questions. Now I do think it's different if you're, like as an occupational therapist, it's kind of easier for me because like a lot of times I'm not talking about medication other than anti-medication shaming.
Yeah. Right.
But like,
oh God.
like, I know I'm really into like,
that.
I feel like I'm like a methotrexate influencer. I'm just like, guys, like it works. It works for some people with no side effects. Like people forget that. You're like,
I know they all go to the negative. Their mind goes to the negatives.
I feel like I'm the only person who was like positive about it. But anyway, but in your case, like it's one thing to be like commenting about like turmeric, but another one to be like, okay, like Humira or something. I don't know. There might be like ethical guidelines around that. obviously you wouldn't say like, you should do this.
Yeah. No, that's medical advice. And so we don't spew that out on social media. That's like the
one
other
thing you might want to think about is this.
Right.
I think connecting with other like influential accounts.
Okay. I that's part of the mindset of getting over the sleaziness part, where you're like, oh my God, I'm selling my soul type of thing. But do you think the best is like to do something with Micah or to do something with you, like just to reach out and be like, hey, what do you want to talk about? How can I help?
I know you like, okay. Sleazy is like,
it's not the right word.
It's like 25 steps away from what you're doing. Like sleazy people don't go into pediatric rheumatology. Like of all things, no. Like, so no, I'm exactly the same though. I'm like had all those same worries and I still do. Like I still feel bad charging for it. And it's like, basically like and I've volunteered a lot and worked with nonprofits and like, you could try to make a nonprofit or you could, but that's like really, really hard. So yeah, like reaching out and thinking of it as again, like doing free education. Sorry. I'm just like,
that's fine.
Lubricate my eyes while we're talking.
I got it.
You know, like saying, like, you know, you're giving value and people will be grateful for that, you know, and saying like, you know, you could reach out to the Arthritis Foundation. They've been doing a lot of,
I did that.
Okay.
I'm going to do like a webinar with them in Houston because they're the perfect target audience. You know, they have the patients, they're the parents, the guardians of the patients over there. So I was, you know, doing like a blog on their post, or I was just kind of trying to be creative on how I could partner with them.
And then I would podcast. You can come on my podcast, go on their podcast. I've been wanting to do something on pediatrics for a long time. I would love
to do it. Yeah. I think we're also like most pediatric rheumatologists are in academic. So you're not going to find them floating on social media very easily.
That's true. I've noticed that.
There are a couple of them that are international, but not in the US. So it's we're very busy in academia. You have your agendas of things to do, you know, you have your mission, education, research, this and that. So you don't have time to podcast or do, but that's where people are. They're,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right. On Facebook groups, on Instagram groups. And so that's kind of why I wanted to branch out, but I just didn't know. I was going to ask your opinion on the timing of when to advertise the fact that I'm going to start my practice. So just to give you a background, I am opening end of July, beginning of August. So about 3.5 months away now.
Okay.
Do you think it's okay? Like where I am, I just opened my Instagram account like a month and a half ago. So do you think it's appropriate timing to advertise like with the grid, like exciting news, opening my own practice, summer 2022?
The thing that I would do before that is, and this is my first thought when I looked at your bio, is a website.
Yes, I have that. Okay. Now, as of this week.
Oh, this week. Okay. Because I wouldn't do any of that until you have a clear method of gathering information from people. So this is something that I did not understand this. My business coach had to convince me to make an email list because I was like, no one gives a crap about email. Like no one wants email. Like, what are you talking about?
Delete.
The fact is though, if social media implodes, like I have 10,000 followers on Instagram now. I don't own that. Like Instagram or Facebook could take away all of my stuff at any given moment in time. If I don't have an email list, I have no way of reaching my audience.
True. You're going to lose all of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know it sounds so old school, but I literally have like a newsletter that's just like an email I sent out once a month and people sign up for it. Like, and the email is literally a review of stuff I've already posted. It's like, here's a podcast I did this month. Here's a thing I posted about. It's just random stuff. And it's like, I have now like over 1,000 people on my email list. And it gives me that peace of mind because it's like you're building the analogy that a lot of these business trainings I've listened to say is like, you're building your business on someone else's playground if you're using only social media. So
that's that. I didn't think of it like that because I'm not a business person. So that
no, me neither. I was like, no, but like, what's the, like, no one cares. Like, but again, and like, for me, it's a little bit more, even more important because I am doing some, like in your case, it's like you have a very specific geographic region, like, whereas me, it's like anyone can sign up for my program. So in your case, it's like, you know, you might get a bunch of randoms on your, on your email list, but you know, I would, before you announce your clinic, I would make it so that you have like at least your website in your bio and like a clear, like they call it like a call to action. Like, do you know what that is? Okay. So I didn't know what any of these business phrases were 2 years ago.
You kind of wrote it, so it helps. I help blank do blank. So.
But the call to action is actually like literally what action do you want the person to take after looking at your thing? Like it sounds really obvious, but you're like, oh yeah, so many, like, especially when we're like, I'm not in academia, but like I am an academic person. Like I used to teach at an OT assistant program at a technical college. It's nowhere near the same as like a research university, but like, I'm like, well, people are just going to want information.
Right.
Like, whereas it's like, okay, at the end, like, I'm like, this is great. I'm giving them information, but it's like at the end, like a call to action could be like, comment room to grow to blah, like, or let me know what questions do you have about this? Or, like go to the link in my bio to sign up for my newsletter, or to sign up for the wait list. Do you know what I mean? It's like a thing that you want them to do after you post something.
So, okay. So like the next post basically have something like a call to action, like, hey, sign up in the bio above. Or, but see my landing page, you can look at it. It's called www.roomtogrowtx.com. And it's just my Instagram handle. And it's a so landing page.
I love
thanks. It's just a landing page for now for the practice. And it says coming summer 2022 and stuff about me. But
oh, look, you have right there. Stay tuned, subscribe for updates.
Yes. I don't know how to do that, but I will figure it out.
Yeah. No, this is so great. The picture of you take a minute to load. I don't know if that's my computer or if the picture is a large. This is something Louie say, do as I say, not as I did, because I'm having to redo my old. If you upload a picture to a website that's like the full size, it slows down your website.
I'll let my lady know that.
Oh yeah. Okay. That picture is so pretty.
Thanks.
See, like, I want to see you. Like when I see that, I'm like, I want to see her. She looks so nice. Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah. No, and
I was going to use that website as my landing page for people to sign up. Number one, I just didn't know what the timing or how to execute that call to action, I guess you say.
Yeah. I would say for now, like join my email list to be the first to know when the doors open, or like join my email list, or join my email list to be the first to know other updates. And it's like, it sounds so simple, but like that's a way to get people again off the platform of Instagram onto your email list.
What did you use for that? You said Linktree? Yeah,
Linktree. So now I have it hosted on ConvertKit, which is what I use as my email list system. There's like MailChimp, ConvertKit, Flowdesk is one a lot of my friends like. It just came out after but Linktree is a free thing that for now it's just you'll see other people have Linktrees. Like let me see what Micah has, doctor. Yeah.
I think Micah has
he has Linktree.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. So his is like clinic website, make appointment here. Like that's a call to action. It's like you can make an appointment, right?
Oh, his is Linktree.
Yeah. And what it is, it's like a place for you to put multiple links, because Instagram only allows you one active link. The only active link that you can have in your entire account is in your profile. So you know how like on Facebook, every single post you can put links in there, websites, not Instagram. It's just your bio. So the bio is super, super important. So you could make a link tree that says like, Room to Grow website, like learn more about Dr. Singla, like, or whatever, or like join my email list. They could be like multiple choices.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to have to figure that out then and use one of the ConvertKit or Flowdesk to sign people up for that. And that's something I can probably do within the week, I'm guessing, right? I don't have to be an influencer to do that.
Oh, no. And you know what I would recommend is, so one thing that my business coach taught me is called having a lead magnet. So I'm sorry for making this more complicated, but this is like a giant brain dump, and then you can take with it what you want. But for example, for me, a lead magnet, it's such a weird phrase. It took me forever to like remember what it meant. Is something you give for free. The simplest example would be like a PDF that people have to sign up for. Here's mine. Here's one. I'm just going to send it to you. Arthritis Life Master Checklist. So if you look in the chat, struggling to manage rheumatoid arthritis, I'm here to help. Sign up to receive a free copy of the tried and tested Arthritis Life Master Checklist. This handout is what I use to manage my physical, mental, and social life with RA. So you might have already signed up for stuff like this before. And I always wondered, like, why are people giving this stuff away for free? All I have to do is give my email address. Well, when someone signs up for this, they are added to, I have double opt-in enabled, which is like in the UK or in Europe, you have to have, you can't just kind of trick people into joining your email list, which I think is good. You have to have them. You see where it says sign up below for the free download and to hear the latest updates from Arthritis Life.
Yeah.
And when you do that, it says something like check now, once I just signed myself up again, check your email to confirm your download and for the option to join the Arthritis Life email list. So then when they get I have it set up so they get the download no matter what, but they also have the option of joining the email list.
Okay.
So that means that then they're on so that's a way to build your email list real quick, and something you could literally just take some of the stuff you've already done in Canva, like, sorry, I'm just guessing it's Canva because
it is.
I love Canva. So I like recognize some of the like icons. You could be like, hey, sign up for like my Q&A about integrative approaches for juvenile arthritis, or juvenile something like a hand. It could be really quick, but I know that might be too complicated. In terms of just like more work for you, because I know you're doing a lot. So it could also just be,
like what are to sign up for, learn about the pillars of integrative medicine, or what topics we talk about, things like that. I could do that. Okay. So start with Linktree, go from there, and then get onto Converter Kit. Yeah, that would be the big. And then the other thing that I've been wanting to do, and this is also a mindset thing, is the reels. Like you had mentioned, getting more personal, having more fun. I'm totally okay with that. I'm not against the idea. I'm just not 100% there yet. I'm okay with it. But so that's the other thing, is learning how to do reels and what to write about, some people do very simple reels. Some people have really intricate reels.
Oh yeah, definitely start simple and start, the most important thing I think is to make it authentic to it sounds so simple, but like to make it authentic to you. Like one of my favorite people on Instagram has a completely different energy level to me. He's literally like a monk. His name's Corey Muscara.
Oh, okay.
Every single one of his videos, he's like wearing the same shirt practically. He's wearing like a blue shirt and it's all cropped up on his face. And he's like, something that I think about sometimes is this. And it's like, he's amazing. That's all he does. And like, I want to listen to him all day long. Okay. But like, if I tried to do that, people would just laugh because they could just tell it's not me. Like I sometimes do feel, I do get in that inspirational mode. And I did one that was like, he's literally like
same pose.
I always like use him as an example, like, cause as like, that's who he is. That's like authentic. And so in your case, like, first of all, the most important thing is to make your content answering people's most frequently asked questions. It's like so simple. Like, it's like coming from academia where like everything's so complicated. It's like, make it like,
can't dumb it down.
Dumb it down.
I just don't know how to. This is so silly.
No.
I don't even know what people are looking for anymore. I'm like, what should I be answering?
Like every question that you've gotten from more than one patient, like you said already, I'm trying to. You said that everyone's asking about integrative medicine, like nutrition. Off the top of my head, the two things I think people are asking about a lot are like nutrition, medication side effects, and like exercise. Because it's exercise may not be in your wheelhouse as much, but I think really starting with 101, anti-inflammatory eating for juvenile arthritis, 101, that's a lot of syllables, but, like my most popular podcast is literally, what's it like to be on methotrexate? Like it's people want to know, simple, or like, hey, this is me injecting my methotrexate. Like and so the other thing is that they're asking and again, I know the pediatrics is different, right? Because it's a different audience. I'm not as in touch with that audience, but it's also just like understanding like methotrexate 101, Humira 101, lupus 101, you could just do so much. Who just, I really think it's good to just look at other accounts and get inspired by them. Do you know, Dr. Kara Wada, Success with Sjogren's? She's another like patient and provider. She has Sjogren's and she's an allergist immunologist.
Was she on your thing, the lecture series that you did? I think
yes.
She has
two different accounts. One's called the Crunchy Allergist.
Oh yeah. I think she follows me. Crunchy, because that name stood out, crunchy allergist.
Yeah. And see her profile has a direct call to action. The one that's the crunchy allergist, 30 days to more energy and less pain, with a little arrow down there. So you go to that and it shows you, this is her. Oh, that's funny. Now she has, it's a little confusing because now I don't know where's the 30 days thing that she's talking about. But hers is like a link tree. Okay, so she needs to connect that better. But she has a bunch of links there. Never mind. But normally it would be like you would want people to click on that link, give them something exciting to click on for that link in the bio. But one of them is like, ask a cute thing I've seen a lot of people do is ask a blank, like ask a nutritionist, ask a pediatric rheumatologist, and just make it really clear it's not medical advice. But who is the one that's been doing it lately?
Where did they post this? Did they posted it on their bio? You mean they put that term?
Sorry. I'm like jumping all over topics.
No, it's okay.
No, I mean like for content, it could just be like, ask the pediatric reumatologist. And it's like, but I can't remember who it was.
Like make a post on that, like just ask a pediatric reumatologist, what questions do you have? Type below or something like that.
Yeah. And then
I might do that.
And then you could literally have a series where it's like, it also could be just not even people having to respond, not even people having to comment, but just saying, ask a pediatric rheumatologist with Dr. Singla. And you can be like, a lot of people ask me about turmeric. And then you just literally say like 2 sentences about it. Okay. And like, that's it. Like that's people. I think I'm so glad you're doing this because there's such a disconnect between like academia and like real world. People, it's like so refreshing to be in the real world because it's like, you're like,
hello, we live here. And I'm a patient of the real world as well.
Yeah. And that was my other question, because I will say a lot of people connect with me because I am very open about being a patient too, but I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't use. I
have no problem. I used to hide behind that diagnosis, but now I think it's more powerful for patients to know that like I do injections like you. I hate it. I hate it when those days come up, I have to figure out insurance stuff too. So it's powerful, but it's at the same time, I have to figure out how to connect with patients, like who's willing to connect and who's not.
Well, but I think you're going to get a lot of people you're going to get immediate street cred with the patient population and the parents.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
That's what people are like, she gets it. And they're less likely to see you as sleazy because it's like,
right.
You have this illness too.
Yes.
So, I mean, honestly, another one that people seem to be really like love is like a day in the life of a pediatric of an integrative pediatric
people
rheumatologist.
Love that.
Yeah. They start like so simple, so simple. Like,
I think because I'm not starting yet, like I start at the end of July, right? Like right now I can't do anything with patients, but I was thinking of doing like not a vlog, but a follow me morning, middle of the day, end of the day type of thing.
I love it. Yeah.
Is that a reel or is that a more of a, I guess, I don't even know how would you do that? A video like that?
Oh, I've seen really cute reels that are like that. Yeah, totally. I mean, the thing about reels is that you have to be under 60 seconds.
Summarize your day in 60 seconds.
It's hard. It is a skill to be able to kind of make things
next
succinct.
For me.
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of missing from my page just because I started. And so this is new for me is I want people to know who I am too. Right. So like, what's my name? When's my birthday? Where do I live? Things like that. And I think a reel to introduce myself might be the next thing I post later this week or something. I don't know what your thoughts are on that or content for reels.
Yeah. I think it would be great. They call it like straight to camera, where you just say, I mean, first of all, there's 2 different kinds of introduction videos. There's the one where you use like a song where it's like, the one's like, this is my age.
Yeah.
But or there's the talking to camera. Does one of those sound more appealing to you?
I don't do the singing pointing part.
I
so
know.
it would probably be.
Yeah. I was going to say, I didn't want to put the words in your mouth, but that's what I guess. So you could be like, literally like look at the camera, like you're looking at, you know, your best friend, or
Yeah.
be like, you know, say like, hey, you know, I want to take a minute to introduce myself. I'm so excited. I'm Dr. Singla,
Yeah.
and I'm, you know, I started this page for, you know, it's just literally like speak from the heart. I'm like,
Okay.
sometimes I do write, if it's going to be complicated, or if I think I'm going to ramble, which is like all the time. I'm actually working on, I'm actually writing on working on a blooper one right now. It's so hilarious, but, be like, okay, you do want to, like, the shorter videos do tend to get more views.
Okay.
So I'll be like, you know, you know, 3 things about me. Like, 1, I'm about to finish my integrative medicine thing. You know,
Yeah.
2, I worked for 10 years as a you know, at the medical center here. And
Yeah.
then like 3, I actually got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis blank. Like,
I
honestly, I
love
think
that.
that's a big selling point to me, that you have rheumatoid arthritis. I
Okay.
think you're going to get, I mean, again, not to sound sleazy, just to be realistic, that like
Yeah.
people are going
Yeah.
to like want to connect with you because they, again, understand that you really get it.
Okay. Okay. I like that. And it's to the point. You said 60 seconds. I can keep it under 60 seconds. If I just give everything out, I won't have more video.
No, once you get started, it's really like that inertia and that fear of getting started is the hardest part.
Yeah.
But once you get started, and it's such a nice, like, vicious cycle in a positive way, because you're going to get comments, and those are going to like give you the motivation to keep going. Cause you're going to like right now, all those fears are about like what could happen, right? Anxiety is
so real.
Yeah, it's so real. Yeah. And it's all about, like, as my therapist taught me, that, you know, anxiety is all about like what could happen. And but like reality is just what happened. And like, you know, and you can cope with whatever happens. Yeah, you're gonna get some trolls. You're gonna get, I mean, I get people saying like, you're ugly, or like, it's like, who cares? Like,
why are they talking? Like, they're so
like,
stupid.
I mean, that's like, you know, as like, I'm like a people pleaser, and like the best thing that can happen is like realizing like, yeah, people said shit about me, and like the world still spins. It's not a big deal, you know? So,
totally. You changed throughout this process, I think, too. Like, where I was a
yes.
year ago to where I am now is crazy. The fact that we're doing a conversation about social media.
I know. No, I think you're so smart. I mean, I do think that something to relate it, because you have a geographic thing, you're gonna, I almost, and maybe I'm jumping like 20 steps ahead, but like, you're gonna have to be turning people away. Like, that's how I'm looking at this. Obviously, when it's my business, I'm like pessimistic, but when someone else's, I'm like optimistic.
So true.
Maybe you should consult me about mine. And no,
no, I think your stuff is so good. I spent a lot of time on yours because I'm like, oh yeah, because I relate, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm on the same med, or I was on the same med. And the one reel that you have about like expectation versus like what it's really like to have a diagnosis, that one really hit home. And that's exactly what I'm trying to teach children, is that this is not a one-step pill for you're ill, you know, and you're done. This is a learning curve, and you're going to have to deal with this forever, unfortunately.
So but no,
a big part of my practice. And it's hard to explain that in words sometimes.
It is, but it's like, you know, all human life involves some suffering. And like, if we pretend that that's not true, and that if we just found the right diet and found the right whatever, that we'd eliminate suffering, that's not going to serve you, because maybe you can eliminate your rheumatoid arthritis suffering if there's a cure, but you're still going to experience suffering. You know, there's other things that will cause. So yeah, building that resiliency is so important. Like, so
that's a good word. Resiliency is huge. I mean, adults aren't even resilient, let alone kids. So
exactly. And like, I think it's interesting. I actually once, when I worked as a pediatric occupational therapist with kids. Yeah. My main work before I pivoted to arthritis was in you know, pediatric school-based and clinic-based, like developmental disabilities, like autism, you know, Down syndrome. So totally different than arthritis, but it's like,
it's hard.
And a lot of the kids I work with had a lot of anxiety. And so I was looking into the anxiety interventions, and it was really interesting because there's an intervention at the University of Washington where I live, where they found the best results when they trained the parents in anxiety. And I know you're like, that's not surprising, right? But like, because like, I have a hard time watching my own child go through anxiety and difficulty. And I want so bad to like fix it for him, that then that interferes with his own resiliency. Right.
Yeah. You're getting in the way.
Exactly. And I'm also reinforcing to him that like, again, his life should be free of suffering. His life should be free of pain. And that's not true. And like there, again, of course we want to like control what we can, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to just say, okay, I have arthritis. Like I'm going to have pain the rest of my life. It's going to suck. Like,
Mm-hmm.
woe is me. But you have to say like, no one's life is completely pain free anyway. So,
no, it's
sorry.
true. But
Yeah.
these are all things that you don't sit down and talk to your rheumatologist about, right? When you go visit them.
You don't
But
have
like, imagine if the conversation shifted on day one after diagnosis of being like, listen, this is going to be a 30-part project of helping you wrap your head around this diagnosis.
Yeah. Yes.
That's kind of what I'm trying to promote in my own clinic. So these are all things that I've been trying to float around in my head of like topics I want to address for questions that families might have, and as a patient, I have questions myself, but a lot of it's, I don't know how much the other person has it. The patient has it, especially a kid. So
that's gonna say you have two target audiences. I mean, like in terms of marketing, the parents have the control over whether the kid comes to the clinic. So you're marketing to the parent, but then you have to describe the value to the child, because that's why in the parents' eyes, that's why they're seeing you.
Right.
Again, just remind yourself if you're getting nervous, what are their other choices? Like are there any other integrative pediatric rheumatologists in Texas?
No.
You don't have to be better than anyone else. You're the only one. I mean,
standard low.
The standards are low. That's the same thing I think to myself. Like, I do actually know there's this woman who is going to be making another like online course, that she's a nurse practitioner that has rheumatoid arthritis. And she took my course and now she's making her own. And I think she did at least have the integrity to like tell me she is. Like, okay, well now I have one person in competition, and I'm like, but at the same time, competition is good because it means that there's a market for your service. Right?
No, I agree.
So, and I'm like, okay, well, if there's two of us making online courses for self-management for arthritis, and there's like millions of people with arthritis, I think there's enough room for more than one,
I agree. But, you don't get nervous about that. And plus you have a presence. So, so on social media. So
right.
Always
she does too, but it's not quite as
robust.
But again, I'm like, I try to be like, what's it called? Something mindset. Oh my God, I can't remember what the word is. Like not a deprivation mindset. Like there's enough for everyone, like, and people will find the person that resonates with them. Like, again, I'm a high energy, talkative, like person. Some people want that like Corey Muscara, like guy that's going to be like, or person that's going to be like, and that's who they need, so not one person is perfect for everyone. So, back to you. I would say really start simple, talking to the camera, a couple other just basic one-on-one tips for filming would be, using a good audio. People will forgive poor video before they forgive poor audio. So I actually just make sure to use headphones. Like I use the Bluetooth headphones. Long-term, you might want to invest. I actually was like sitting over in my closet. Like I keep needing to like set it up. I have like a better quality, microphone, but I just end up using the Bluetooth
headphones.
Headphones. And then lighting is huge. Like I'm like, do as I say, not as I do. But like I can see there's like natural light near you. Like if you go always like just face a window, that's like the cheapest, easiest way to get good lighting. Now you're in Texas, like Seattle, we don't get as much sun as you do.
We get a lot of sun.
Maybe you have to face like
I'll do the other way. I'll figure out a spot to do that. Lighting, and then you do it on just like your regular iPhone, right? And then you upload it to Instagram.
You actually could film it within Instagram.
Oh, okay.
But I do find that to be more glitchy. So sometimes, especially I have a friend who does similar stuff. And so I'm a little bit confusing because I want to repurpose all my stuff to like TikTok and Instagram, and as well as like YouTube shorts. And so I actually often will just do it on like the native, like, film, video. And then upload it, to each platform. And another thing that I do advise people on is including captions, because there's all this data that like a lot of people, like 30 or 40%, I can't remember the exact number, are watching reels and TikToks with the sound off because they're in bed and their partner's asleep or their baby's asleep. So Instagram, if you're just doing Instagram, that's awesome because you can upload the video to Instagram and Reels. Do you know how to even, like, you just hit the plus button and then
oh yeah, to make a reel. Yes,
yeah,
I understand. That's
yeah.
good.
You hit the plus button and then you add the caption sticker like you would on like a story. And then that actually, you could edit the caption. So the closed caption is like, shows what you've said. It tends to get the word rheumatoid wrong, and it gets a lot of like medical words wrong. So you have to go in there
and edit it.
Yeah.
So is it supposed to listen to you and then just auto generate the words?
Yeah,
okay.
It does that.
Okay.
Yeah. If you look at my, trying to think of I think it yesterday. Oh no, that one. If it's a song, I have to edit it myself. If it's you talking, you don't. Okay, let's see. Where's the latest one where I had it? Ooh, a little while.
Do you do Facebook as well?
Yeah, don't be like me. Don't scatter yourself too far. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I think I need it for my business page once I'm fully functional and running, you know?
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
So
here's an example. I'm going to send you one in the chat of the automatic caption sticker on my reel that I edited it. This is about the doctor who said to somebody, it actually turns out it was a therapist. It was like a psychologist. I thought they said it was, they implied in my head it was a doctor, but actually it was a person who said that they shouldn't go to a support group because their disease hadn't progressed enough.
Shut the hell up. No,
I know. It's like, and people came for them in the comments. Like, it was so great because they were like, no, don't listen to them. And she joined the group. So I'm like, so happy. But this is just an example. So you see what I mean? Like, and that's just me talking to the camera, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just simple, you know, so sorry, but yeah. So on Facebook, having a business page and linking the business page on Facebook to your Instagram account is nice because you can set it up so it automatically posts whatever you post on Instagram, you post to Facebook and vice versa. However, or no, sorry, depending on how you set it up. Now it's called like Meta Business Suite. But they don't do it with the reels. You have to manually upload the reels. I don't know why, or maybe I just don't know how to do it. They change stuff all the time and I like cannot keep up.
Yeah. When you do Facebook lives and Instagram lives, or one or the other?
I do Instagram lives. I've very rarely done Facebook lives, but you can. Yeah. I mean, I do think Facebook tends to make it a little easier to target your geographic area. That's what I've heard for like Facebook ads.
Yeah. Especially for like being Texas, you know, wanting to be in Texas, doing stuff with the Arthritis Foundation.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know what the demographics are. Like older people go towards Facebook, younger people towards Instagram. That's what I kind of think.
Yes.
And I'm guessing like for a parent who has a kid with arthritis, they'd want to do more Insta than Facebook, but who knows?
Depends how old the parent is. If they're like a 50-year-old parent of like a 12-year-old who just got diagnosed.
Yeah. Then they're going to be on Facebook. So you kind of have to be everywhere.
Yeah. You can't, I know. So that's why I'm on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. But I think for business, I think Instagram and Facebook for your business are a great place to start because the moms and then mommy groups are kind of famously all on Facebook.
Yes. So, even doctor groups, like, you know, for like the Houston Women's Physician Group, like, hey, do you know a good neurologist? They'll post on there.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that on Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram is not quite as searchable.
Right.
But that is another technique to build that know, like, and trust, like to connect to others is searching for hashtags, like let me just see right now, like integrative. Oh my God. Sorry. Oh my God. There's only 25 posts.
For integrative rheumatology.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've done integrative medicine, but not integrative rheumatology. That'll be my new addition.
Or like look up the hashtags that are like autoimmune.
Yeah, I've been trying to hashtag the hell out of all my posts.
Yeah. But the key is to connect to the other, like the really popular conversations going on with with the popular hashtags. So like if you go on, like, let me just look up AIP diet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
110,000. And then you could then go see the most popular ones and then comment on those and connect to those people. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of where you can start, like, building a larger audience, or be like, oh yeah, I just talked about that in my series, Ask a Doc, or, you know what, like, again, you don't want to be too sleazy about it, but
right.
adding, so maybe not being that aggressive, but saying like, oh yeah, alcohol should have cancer warning label, CBC News expert. This is from Ginger Cures, registered holistic nutritionist, AIP coach. Every
Lord.
time yeah, I know. Yeah, you kind of might want to like figure out a group of like the most valid people to connect with too. Like, here's one's RDN, LDN, registered dietitian. Oh, that's confusing because when I see RD,
yeah,
and I think RN, but like
it is all very confusing. Even integrative and rheumatology together is confusing. People are like, what are those words?
Like,
I was going to ask one last question on my bio. Yeah. You had mentioned to change what I have on my bio to be more specific, or what I can do for people type of thing.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know what should I get rid of there? Because I want people to know that I have RA, I'm a rheumatologist, integrative medicine.
That was more like a brainstorm. Yeah. So it could say, like, I actually love what you say, on a mission to redefine chronic care in childhood. I actually remember reading that before I even talked to you. And I was like, that's actually why I think I followed you back. Cause I don't follow everyone. I used to automatically reflexively follow everyone back because I didn't know better. But it is, you do want to be careful who you are selective, just because then your feed is more
specific. No, I get that. So you think I should just leave that for now?
I maybe I would. How many characters do you have left?
Oh, none.
Okay, I would say like, okay, you don't need. I would take away the word trained.
Okay.
I know it's frustrating that like integrate, like the words like pediatric rheumatologist and integrative medicine.
Yeah. Should I just do integrative pediatric rheumatologist? I would
do that. Yeah. Okay. And then, because you need room for a website or like a link tree.
Oh, that takes over your characters too.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I crazy? No, you're right. No, oh my God. Sorry.
Okay.
I
was like, I'm screwed. I got to get rid of the whole thing.
No. Yeah. Like, for example, my last line, and I've changed this a bunch of times, but my last line is like free RA trainings, life hacks, and more, with a little arrow down. And then, then you put your website under that. So, but you need to put like this is just something that again, these businessy trainings have said, is like, you want to kind of lure people into clicking, kind of inspire them to click. So maybe if you make that like PDF freebie that you're talking about, or Texas clinic info or something, when you open your clinic, you might just change it to like, let me see,
to the link to my actual website when I'm saying that, hey, I'm out and about. So you think I should get a link tree to put in there and have a link to my website, right? Yeah. To my landing page, and then a link to sign up here for newsletter, email.
Yeah. And then if you can, create a lead magnet, it makes it even more enticing to people. What did you say? You had an idea of like inflammatory
pillars of integrative, the 4 pillars of integrative rheumatology, or something like that. Something like that.
You can even just say like free handouts, and then with an arrow down, and then like getting them to want to click on your
on the link tree.
Yeah, on the link tree, or more resources,
or how to redefine, or because my whole thing is about redefining care, because it should be acute care plus chronic care together as part of your medical care, not just sick care.
Why is this not done?
Like, I know.
I do not get it.
I don't know how we can redefine care or something like that. I don't know what the link.
I think for now, maybe just say, if nothing else, add a link tree to it. And then change to integrated pediatric rheumatologist, RA warrior, redefining chronic care in childhood traumatic diseases.
Okay.
That'll give you some more letters. And then more resources here, and then do the link tree to your link tree. And then when you launch your clinic, be like, make an appointment today or something like that. I don't know.
There's a little trickiness to it. So,
yeah.
um,
Like, what does Micah say? It's really good to just look at other similars. Oh yeah. Offering consults. Yeah. Are you going to do anything like that? Like wellness consults that you could no. Okay. Yeah. No, you're smart. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't, it's just going to be like a regular visit, you know, it's going to be a rheumatology visit. And we're going to go over more stuff than you normally do. So
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's really clear though. That's really good that you're clear on that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's,
sorry if I made your thing more confusing. The bio is like just what is recommended for a lot of people. It's like, I help blank do blank so that blank.
Yeah.
But that's generic, right? It's like, I help busy moms lose weight so that they have more energy and can be present for their kids or something. But it's like, you're in such a specific niche. Like, just knowing you're an integrative pediatric rheumatologist and that you have RA kind of tells them everything that you need to know. Like, but maybe, maybe just, I think probably the more important thing now that I'm thinking about it more is just getting them to click onto your website. That builds your search engine optimization, getting more people to click to your website. That's why, by the way, I'm not using Linktree anymore. I'm having it, it looks like Linktree, but it's hosted on my website. So that way, every time someone clicks on that, I'm getting a hit to my website. But again, that's maybe longer term, but.
Do you think I'm just wondering if I should just link my website on there?
Oh yeah.
Instead of Linktree.
Oh my God. Yeah. Let's just do that for now. Do that. Is your website's live, you said, right?
It's live. Yeah. I mean, it's not the real deal. It's just a landing page, but again, it has that spot for newsletter. Sign up for a newsletter below.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought this was like a mock-up, but yeah, you're right. It's the real, it's HTTP.
It's live. I mean, it just went live a couple days ago. So I think I'll just do that.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to post it for people, you know, that I'm opening summer 2022. Like, how do I advertise? It's random to just open it and see the link, right?
Yeah. Well, I would say, get in touch, first name, last name, email, message. Yeah, I would make it more clear where you say contact Dr. Singala, like, maybe say, how are they going to schedule? Are you going to have like a front desk person or?
No, so they can't schedule anything right now because I'm not open yet.
but no, so yeah, but tell them, like, if they want to know now that like, scheduling will open, appointments.
Yeah, in like June. That's why I'm wondering if it's too early to post something versus like contact me for scheduling questions.
I would say the minute that you make this more public, you need to make it clear for them what the timeline is. That's just my gut instinct. Otherwise, you're going to be just like answering all these random questions. So just
random questions.
Yeah, be like opening July 2022, or you'll be able to make an appointment starting July 1st or something like that. Because is that because of the non-compete? You can't like have them pre-schedule. Yeah.
Also, there's a build out going on, like the whole process of building the office, you know, with construction.
Oh yeah, your actual office. Yeah, you want to make sure that's true. We just went through a home remodel, so
yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, I definitely recommend. It's not over till it's over.
Right, exactly. So I'm just trying to navigate how I'm gonna do this. So maybe what I'll do is I'll post like ask a PD rheumatologist, do a reel of myself, and then I'll eventually get to the my website link. And then I think I should just go ahead and be like, hey, listen, I'm opening my practice with like you know how people do grids? They do
I love that. Yeah.
The grids where you open it up and all those tiles add up to one picture. So I might do something like that in like the next week or so.
Yeah. And I think then, and this is something that I learned in my latest launch, because I've done these like self-management programs and like support groups a few times, multiple times in the last 2 years. And the other times I had that same worry of like, I'm not going to advertise this super far in advance because I'm worried that like it'll lose momentum.
Yes.
What ended up happening this time is that, it was actually better to get the seed in people's mind, like build interest, and then kind of add more layers of details. Like here, you're just introducing, hey, I'm an integrative pediatric rheumatologist. I'm going to have my own clinic. Like I'm psyched about that. And then adding like, maybe in you can kind of sketch out a calendar. Cause yeah, July is going to be here before you know it. So then maybe in April, like you said, you're building your know, like, and trust, explaining why, your motivation for becoming an integrative pediatric rheumatologist,
right?
Doing like an ask a doc, series. And then in May, you might be more like topic specific, like talk about nutrition or something. And then and then start percolating in like, oh, July 1st, I'm aiming for July 1st to be the day that the clinic opens. I'm so excited, and then in June, you're more like giving more details, like FAQs. Like I did like FAQs about support groups, or like myth versus fact, like, and
I like that. I'm just going to sketch it out because I love Post-its. So,
oh my gosh. Okay. Let me show you right now. Like, literally, that's my wall. Oh, you can't really see it. There's
mine looks very similar. I don't know.
So
I have Post-its everywhere, like here, all over my wall.
Oh, that's awesome. This is so exciting.
Like, I know. But yeah, I want people to know that about me too. Like I'm just who I am as a person. I'm not just a rheumatologist. Yes. I love Google Calendar.
Yeah. And one of the good pieces of advice I got was like, like you give them something valuable. Again, like here's my favorite recipe for anti-inflammatory, like for yellow, what's it called? Like golden milk, turmeric, pepper. I know. I actually really love that. I love the taste of it. And then be like in the comment or in the caption, like you'll be like talking about, it's been so like talking about your personal story, but then like tying it subtly into, that's why I'm so excited to be opening my clinic. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you're not like, it's not, cause I used to be very literal and be like, wait, do I just say like, I have this program like 30 times in a row? Like, I don't get it. Like, cause I'm like, get to the point people, but the way things work nicely on social media is that people like it when it's like more subtle, where it's like,
build a story.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're watching a show, kind of. I don't know
exactly.
how to put it.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I am excited for you.
Thank you. No, I think I've gotten some great ideas. I mean, I'm glad I signed up for this. I didn't know what I was doing, but this is helpful. I have like notes all over here.
No, I'm so glad. And I'll send you the recording. Yeah. And if, please, feel free if you want to schedule another follow-up, that's totally great. But I would love I'll send you, if you are interested in me, I want to be respectful of your time. So please feel free to say no, but I would love to have you on my podcast. Cause I think that would be, people definitely liked the one with Dr. Yu. I had him on the podcast.
Yeah. I would be happy to do it. Just to give me a time frame and like topic points so I can look over stuff. And how long is the recording? Like an hour?
It's usually 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love it. Like what are we in April? You want to aim for like May or something?
Yeah, that would be perfect. I'll send you this right now. Or want me send it over email or just in the chat?
You can do it email. Email would be good. It'll be in my inbox.
Yeah. This is so awesome. I think you're going to be very successful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to do. I'm so glad I clicked on your link tree to be like, she does stuff like this.
No, I was gonna say hardly anyone ever finds that, and I don't do a very good job of promoting it. So I was so like tickled, as my mother-in-law said. I was just tickled. I was tickled when you made this appointment because I love it. I love it's like, you don't even realize, it's probably same for you with integrative rheumatology, but it's like, you don't realize how much you learned until you like start. Because you have the exact same questions I had like 2 years ago. And it's like, oh, this is cool. Like, and then in 2 years, maybe you'll be consulting someone else. Like,
maybe not. We'll see.
No, I think you will be. I think you will. I mean, if you want to be, like I definitely have that. Like, I like to just be like out there and like random with reels and stuff. And it's just fun for me, and that's not everyone, and you don't have to be that way.
Right. It's controlled. It's controlled,
Yeah. You can have the more academic lens of like, hey, like, yes, I am like down to earth. I am a patient too, but also like kind of saying like, hey, here's like why I'm this really like, I'm the authority. Like you kind of want to build that
reputation basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yay, no problem.
And then I will, I'll be in touch with you about getting on your podcast then.
Yeah, I'll send you the email right now for that. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Well, take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye, Cheryl. See you.
Bye.